Hi everybody, it is Dee Vicino from Allergies. I am so happy that you could join me today to talk about this important and maybe super uncomfortable topic of the birds and the bees, and talking to your children about what they need to know if they have food allergies, whether they're mild allergies or life-threatening anaphylactic allergies. It is spring and romance is in the air and love is in the air, and if you are the parent of a food allergic kid, that can really make your heart pitter-patter, and not in that loving feeling kind of way, in that holy crap, will my kid survive her first date kind of way, or oh my god, my child is at that age where they're gonna start experimenting. I want them to survive that, not just their heart, but their whole everything. So my children, as many of you know, I've got a cup of tea here because I need to be calm during this because it makes me uncomfortable. My children are adults now, and there is so much that I know about food allergies so many years later that I didn't know when they were young and approaching dating age, out of dating age. And
if I could turn back time,
I would, and I would have these conversations with them, but I can't. So I'm going to pretend that I am having these conversations with them because there's so much that I want to say to them that I should have said to them, and I wanted to say to them in looking back through that rearview mirror, and I can't. So I'm gonna do it now. So this is my letter to my daughters. I have two of them. So my darlings, my lovely, lovely, lovelies, it is, we're getting to that time, and I know that you are interested in boys because I see you stalking the neighborhood and stalking these boys in our neighborhood. And they are going to start asking you out, and there are some things that you need to know before you say yes to these boys, because we have some things that we need to worry about that a lot of people don't have to worry about. The first thing I want you to know is that you can have a fun date without food being involved. And you can go to the movies, you can go to one of the cafes that we've deemed a safe cafe and have a cup of tea, you can have a cup of coffee and be safe. You can go hiking in the mountains, you can go on walks on the beach during our vacations, you can go ice skating, you can go roller skating, you can go rollerblading, you can walk the dog in the park, you can go to the theater, you can go to museums. There are so many things you can do that don't involve food when you're first getting to know this boy that will keep you safe. Now I'm telling you something, you some darn cute girls, and those boys are going to want to kiss you, and you're going to want to kiss them too. And that's okay. It's okay to kiss boys. I'm a fan. Don't do it too much though. But those boys need to be sure that they haven't eaten anything that you are allergic to before they kiss you. And they might say, oh, I'll go rinse my mouth out, or I'll go brush my teeth. And you'll think, oh my gosh, that's awesome, then I can kiss this boy. No, you can't kiss that boy. Because those proteins, those allergens that we talk about all the time, they stay in the mouth for like hours. So that boy, if he wants to kiss you, you need to have some conversations with him about what you're allergic to and things that he should not eat before you go on a date with him. And you need to make sure he hasn't eaten those things before you go on a date with him. He needs to agree to that. So you may want to consider something like this.
I present to you the relationship agreement. A binding covenant that in its 31 pages enumerates, iterates, and codifies the rights and responsibilities of Sheldon Lee Cooper, here and after known as the boyfriend, and Amy Farrah Fowler, here and after known as the girlfriend.
So romantic.
So yeah, relationship agreement. If you're going to start seeing this boy on a regular basis, and I'll probably have some conversation with this boy's mama, just so you know, so that she understands how important this is, sweetie pie, because I want you to go and date and play and have fun, but I want you to be safe, and I want you to come home alive, and I don't want to meet you in the ER. I want to meet you at the front door and interrupt the kiss and embarrass the heck out of you. That's what I want to do. As your relationship evolves, you might fall in love, and you might want to take that relationship to the next level. And there's really not a lot I can do about that. I can talk about celibacy, I can talk about all those kinds of things, but the reality is this is your body and this is your choice, and you get to make your own decisions. What I need you to realize is some of those decisions put your life in somebody else's hands. And we know that these proteins travel through saliva, and there's a lot of smooching when you're talking about other relations, so we need to make sure that nothing has been ingested. But here's something you might not know. that those allergens don't just travel through saliva. They travel through other bodily fluids, the kinds contained with a condom. And there are documented cases of women who have gone into anaphylactic shock during sex, and it was determined that their partner had ingested their allergen prior to. You see, I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm a lot uncomfortable, but it's important that you understand, and it's important that you know. It's important that you act, and it is important that the boy knows, and it is important that you have a
relationship agreement.
Because you're my baby girl, and I love you, and I want you safe. And he needs to understand that. Now, there are doctors out there who will tell you that there's not enough evidence to prove that there's this transfer. If it doesn't happen often, it happens rarely. Well, we don't know how often it happens. We know the documented cases of this are rare, sweetie. People don't always report when they've had a reaction during sex relations, because a lot of the signs, especially of the more mild allergic reactions, they kind of mimic what's happening to you when you're in that loving feeling moment. You know, you're breathing heavy, you get a little sweaty, your heart's palpitating, you get a little tingly. It could also be an allergic reaction. Moms tell us all the time, better safe than sorry. It's one boy, and if he loves you and cares about you, he's going to be careful. Another thing we need to talk about, sweetheart, and this is the last thing we're going to talk about, is alcohol. Now, I have talked to you about drinking, and I have talked to you about not drinking, and we have had these conversations 1,000,001 times. So I'm not going to talk to you about that piece of it, but I am going to talk to you about this piece of it, because you need to understand how alcohol can affect those relationships. Remember when you were little and we used to slip and slide all of the time? We used to do the slip and slide. And we'd get on that slip and slide and go, and we would go, and we wouldn't go fast enough. That wasn't enough for the thrill seekers in our family. So we took the dish soap, and we put it all over the slip and slide, and suddenly, we were shooting through the air and having so much fun. Alcohol is the soap to your slip and slide. It is a conduit. It makes everything go a little bit faster, and it increases your chances of absorption of the fluids and put your life in danger. So just keep that in mind, because again, I love you so much, and I just need you to be safe, and I need you to think things through a little bit and have these conversations with these boys. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna have those conversations with their mama. Let those boys know now. If they're dating you, they're kind of dating me, not in a weird way, but I'm gonna be on the phone talking to the mother and making sure everybody understands what's happening, because you're my baby girl, and I love you, and I'm keeping you safe. I need a glass of wine. I love you. I cannot wait to see where your romantic journey takes you. I am excited for you to get out there and find love. And I'm excited for you to do it safely. And I love you. And I'm going to cry from me to you. I love you, sweetheart. Be safe.